This is the Unholy Union,
a podcast where you will be subjected to highly offensive marital discourse.
If you do not feel insulted during this week's episode, don't worry, we'll try harder next week.
If you can relate to our ramblings, we want to be friends with you.
If you believe that we take it too far or our mouths are too much for you, then with as much love and sincerity as we can muster, you can suck it.
Welcome to the Unholy Union. So we're parents.
Are we?
We are.
Since when?
Since 2014. So one of the things I guess I wasn't prepared for in children is the competitiveness. Like, I have a sister, and I know that she and I were competitive at times, but I don't think we were ever competitive with our friends at such a young age.
Oh, okay. So you're saying siblings competitiveness go hand in hand, but friends, it's like maybe a little.
Right. You would think that was more like at the teenage years. Okay, so let's back up. Our daughter is almost 9 years old.
Yes.
And she has multiple friends in the neighborhood. They're all awesome. We love them. And she has one that she's particularly close with.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, they seem to compete with one another. Oh, I'm doing this. You're not.
Right. Right. And they do it to spite each other.
Right.
It's to be a butthole.
Right. But they're friends, though. They play every day.
Every single day for hours upon hours of time.
Right. And they're so young. I wasn't expecting this until like teenage years, right? Like, you would think as teenagers, maybe they would be more competitive, trying to get their place in society.
But it's like they're bleeding into lying to each other now.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Almost like just to make the other one
feel bad.
Right.
Yeah, it's jabbing each other, but it's lies.
Is it manipulation?
Yeah, well, they're just trying to one up each other.
It's gaslighting.
Yeah. You have a lot of experience with that.
That's a story for another day. But I guess I just wasn't expecting this at such a young age.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't care as much if it wasn't lying to each other, because they're both lying to each other and just to essentially hurt each other's feelings.
But what kind of friendship is that? Like, so our point in this whole thing is the advice, if you will, or the guidance, the parenting that we have done with our child is stop.
Yeah. Just don't do that. Why? If your friend is acting like that, just say, okay.
Well, or great. Good for you. I am happy for you. You are my friend and I am happy for you.
Exactly. But
you don't have to say, well, I'm doing.
Exactly. That's the problem. They are 100% trying to one up each other. And it's kind of funny, but it's evolved into lying.
Right.
It's you're doing this. Well, guess what? I'm doing this. Then they come over here and ask us, are you guys doing this? We're like, what? Doing that? Well, where's this? Who's this?
Right.
We have no idea what they're talking about, but our kid was trying to one up people, and guess what?
Yep.
It turned into a lie.
So I guess, again, the idea of parenting this is just from Bluey, right? Run your own race.
I highly recommend that show.
It's amazing. But run your own race. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. It's you against you, not you against your friend.
Right, exactly. And you just said the key word, your friend.
Right.
It's your friend. Chill. Who cares? Let them have fun. If they want to be a butt, or if you want to be a butt, then you guys need to take a break.
It just feels like there's just always drama, right?
Yes.
Always drama. Gotta have some drama. Speaking of drama.
What we got?
Maybe not speaking of drama.
Speaking of drama.
Solar.
Oh, yeah, no, that's drama.
Okay. We'll go with speaking of drama.
Yeah. All right. So.
He's getting so ready for this.
Oh, this is a nuts story to me. But so we just recently got solar put on our house because it made financial sense.
And we live in Florida.
Where it's sunny all year. Well, we went through this whole process. It ended up being a little bit cheaper than our
Well, no, it ended up being, it's supposed to be $100 cheaper
Than our electric bill.
than our electric bill, which keeps changing
Right.
every year. Rates go up.
And this payment that we were going to make to solar is locked in for 25 years. So we're $100 a month,
In savings.
in savings by 25 years, and your energy bill won't change.
Right.
So we were like, okay, that would be stupid to not do that. Well,
Makes sense.
signed all these contracts, signed documentation with said company, blah, blah, blah. Well, I get a call the other day. Well, first off, I got a text message the other day.
Well, I think we need to preface that even further in that that's what we agreed to with the salesperson.
Yes.
And then
And we signed contracts.
And we signed contracts. Then we received an unsolicited amendment
Right.
that had an escalator included.
Right, which we never agreed to. We said 0 locked in for 25 years because that is a big benefit for when you sell your house. You don't have to explain to the new people if you sell it with the solar panels, hey, your fucking power bill or your solar bill is going to go up, blah, 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 blah. That's garbage. Well, anyway, I get a text message a few weeks ago and it said chargebacks. Hey, we're charging back your commission from my sales guy. I was like, okay, what does this have to do with me? They were taking away his commission and essentially actually like pulling it out. They already paid him. They're pulling it out of his account. So he sent me that and I was like, oh, well, that sucks. What do you want me to do about it?
Well, and the reason why they were doing that
Was because of the 0 escalator.
Right. That we had originally agreed to. They tried to send us an escalator and we said no.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it. And mind you, the panels are on the roof already.
And we already signed a 0 escalator.
Right. And they had already installed these panels. So I'm like, I'm not signing anything. Why would I voluntarily sign a freaking increase in my payment?
Right.
I'm not doing that. It's already up there.
And the increase in payment was going to be $50 more a month.
Right. Well, after that text, another week or so went by, and I get a phone call from said salesman. This salesman said, man to man, can I raise your monthly bill up $50 a month so that I can get my bonus back? And I was like, what? What do you mean? You want me to suffer because you and your company's systems are screwed up? I said, why didn't you and your company rectify all this contractual dispute stuff before you put the shit on my roof?
Right.
I have X amount of dollars of crap on my roof right now. I'm not signing it. Well, me and a couple of other people in our neighborhood, we bundled it together essentially. We all did it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And this sales guy said to me that these other two people had already signed this document. You know, allowing a $50 or whatever money
increase.
Yeah, allowing an increase for them. Well, they're my neighbors and we're actually friends. So I called them, of course, right? I'm going to check. They didn't sign it.
Right.
They said, kick rocks. They essentially said what I said. So this dude lied to me.
Right.
To try and get more money. And I'm like, no, first off, I was thinking about it because you were starting to make me feel bad. But now?
Oh, the salesperson was starting to make me feel bad.
Yeah. He was trying to make me feel bad, which it was working a little bit because, I've got a conscience and
You've
stuff.
got a heart.
Yeah, I've got a heart.
You're not a Grinch.
Well, after I found out he essentially lied to me, I'm like, nah, that's not going to happen.
Yep.
But yeah, so if you do solar, don't let them fucking try to roll over. This has been a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's a scam. The solar itself and the system is awesome, but
the idea of all of this sounds so good, right?
Well, and the app is cool.
Right.
It's a good system. It's good quality, but it's like, and then this guy wants referrals. Like, how am I supposed to give you referrals when you can't even do your own job?
or your company is screwing you out of your commission.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not giving
based on a glitch in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. So
okay, so this $50 a month is over the course of 25-year contract, which equals out to $15,000.
Right.
I'm not doing that. It's a $15,000 fuck up that your company either has to eat, or they come out here, take these solar panels off my roof and repair the entire roof of all the roof penetrations that you've done. Penetrations.
Good job. No, but I mean, it makes sense for us in Florida, where it is most of the time sunny, right?
Yes.
To have these panels. It makes sense to have a flat fee because for whatever reason, our electric bill and its rates keep changing from the time we moved in here. So it all makes sense, right? And you like the app, you like the equipment, you like the setup. Like that all made sense, but it's like the administration, the business behind it.
This installer is trash. 100%. And I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to get sued.
Right.
But this installer is some hot garbage, and it has been a nightmare with this stuff.
Right.
But just to kind of give you an idea of why we chose solar, it locks in your electricity rate for that 25 years, because what you're doing is you're providing power to the grid.
Right.
So you are generating power not really for yourself, but for everyone. And when you generate that power, your power company will pay you for that power, the same price that you pay them for that power. So essentially what you're doing is offsetting your bill. Your costs. Because you're selling but while also buying, so they're just going to wipe out your bill. That's what it does. And it's cool, and it's awesome, and it makes sense in Florida.
Well, there could be a deficit, right? One way or the other, where we're either not producing enough and we're using too much of electricity,
right,
or the opposite. We are producing way more than we are using.
Exactly. And when you produce more than what you're using, it actually goes into an account with your electric company.
As like a credit.
Yeah, as a credit. So you can either take a payment at the end of the year, or you can leave it in there for those months that maybe in wintertime or something, or it's cloudy one day, it will cover that day.
Right.
So it balances to essentially equal a $0.
But again,
electric bill.
Flat fee electric bill.
Exactly.
Versus what it was changing to, fluctuating $100 every year. Crazy. But we have panels now.
We have panels. They look nice. Mm-hmm. I was worried about the look of them, but they look fine. The system itself is really cool. There's an app that actually shows you real-time consumption and real-time generation. And
are we producing yet?
We're not sending to the grid yet, no.
Dang it.
Because...
But can you see like all the things, like what we're doing and it's already... Oh, okay. So it is technically taking it in.
It's taking it in, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
Gotcha.
Because we have to get a permission to operate from our electric utility.
Gotcha.
So they know, like, hey, they're going to be sending power to the grid. We have to pay them. And they have to switch our meter out to a bidirectional meter instead of internal, into the house only.
All that to say, research your company.
Yeah, research your company and don't let them roll over on you, because they will try, it seems. I mean, at least this company did. I don't know about all of them, but it's been a nightmare.
But once it's over, it'll be worth it.
It will be. Unless they have to come take these fucking panels off.
We will hope it doesn't get to that point. But again, research your companies and also be vigilant. I think that is kind of our...
Read your documentation.
Right.
Because they sent this thing via DocuSign. So you're like looking at it like, oh, okay, I'll just click this button. Don't just click sign. Mm-hmm. Read through it. Because I read through it, and it was going to increase the bill from... It was going to at least double the bill by the end of the contract. And I'm like, there's no way.
Nope. But I think that's our buzz phrase for our next topic, even. Be vigilant.
Yes. Yeah. So I have an acquaintance, we will say, anonymous acquaintance, that just recently had some medical issues, and she went to the doctor for them, got prescribed medication. She went to a pharmacy to pick them up, and how they put the medicine in a bag, they staple your information to the front so it's yours. Well, they stapled her information to the front. She took one on the way home because she wanted to feel better. And she proceeded over the next 3 or 4 days to take this medication 3 times a day like prescribed by the doctor. Well, she started feeling funny. She was like, this is weird. I don't feel myself.
Mhm.
I can't stay awake. I can't really talk. She was in this fog, you know? Well, this lady put her readers on and looked at the bottle, and it was Zoloft.
As opposed to some other prescription antibiotic.
Yeah, it was like an antibiotic type or antiviral type medication that you're only supposed to take for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So she was taking something that is a long-term medication and taking
a high dosage,
a very high dosage of said medication 3 times a day. So this actually ended up giving her a panic attack. So she had to go to the ER, and the ER filed a report against said pharmacy.
Right.
What are your thoughts here on who is at fault? I want to know, because I have thoughts. I think both parties are at fault, but I think the pharmacy should absolutely be punished for this a lot.
To what extent, though? So we'll get to that in just a second. So there are a couple of things at play there, right? There is the pharmacist who put the pills in a bottle, right?
Right.
And they put a label on it.
Mm-hmm.
That pill bottle was put into whatever
packaging.
Thank you. Packaging that they stapled the paperwork.
There was a lot of hand movements here.
So, but who performed that action, right? Who took that bottle and put it into the packaging? Was it the pharmacist or one of the people who do like the techs, right? Or whatever they're called, the people who ring people up.
Right.
The pharmacist isn't ringing you up typically. It's, one of the people behind the counter.
Right.
So to which person did that, first off, they fucked up, right?
100%.
They fucked up. So if you've ever seen It's a Wonderful Life, it's a perfect time of season to watch that right now. And then we just started December here. So in It's a Wonderful Life, there was a pharmacist and he was distraught. He wasn't paying attention. He put poison in capsules and was going to send it for a child who had some illness that needed an antibiotic. Now, in the movie, obviously, there's a point to this that someone intervened and saved the child from dying from poison. So if the pharmacist and or tech, whoever stuffed the package, had put in something like a heart medication or an anti-seizure medication, your friend would have possibly died.
100%. Depending on the medication, luckily it was Zoloft.
Right.
Because that is a very slow titration medication.
Right.
It takes a long time for it to get in your system and actually do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But
and Zoloft is for anti-anxiety.
Yeah, it's a depression, anti-depression, it's an SSRI, which is a classification of like mental health medication.
Right. We're very familiar with it in this house.
Yeah, I take Zoloft.
So to that point, like the pharmacist and or person who stuffed it could have killed your friend.
100%.
So they are 100% at fault.
But what about not reading the bottle? The bottle was labeled properly.
So your friend, in trusting the pharmacist and not being vigilant, didn't look at the bottle.
Right.
And see, oh shit, this is wrong.
Yeah, I can't take this.
Right. So kind of, they should be held accountable to a point, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure that your friend suing them is going to do any good.
I don't think it would. And the reason why I say that is because when you get home, if your significant other takes medication, that's what they're going to say. They're going to say, well, how do you distinguish my pill bottle from
the 7 others?
The 7 others that you have in your house. You read the fucking bottle.
Your old medication, right?
Yeah.
You take an old medication.
Right. You got to read the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that didn't happen here. Unfortunately, that didn't happen here. But as a person, yes, that's a little bit of a fuck up. But the pharmacy, they need to be held to something.
Right.
And I don't know what that is, whether that's like a derogatory mark on their
BBB,
their pharmacy license, however that works. I don't know.
Business Bureau, like I don't even know at that point.
But
like,
the problem with suing too, though, is the fact that that's why healthcare in this country is so astronomically high, is they have to carry loads and loads of insurance.
Liability.
Yeah, all these medical professionals have to carry this astronomically expensive insurance because of malpractice and getting sued because your significant other got shot and they couldn't save him. You know, they'll blame the doctor or the surgeon, whoever. So they have to have this huge, ridiculous amount of money set aside for this. So it increases prices for everyone because everybody in this country is extremely sue happy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's messed up.
Yep.
And I will say my acquaintance isn't really interested in suing because of that reason, which is respectable. But I do think they should get in trouble.
Well, I wonder what the hospital reporting it does. Like,
right. That was one detail I left out. The hospital. Did I leave it out?
No, you
Oh,
said
okay.
You said it. The hospital reported them for it.
Right.
Reported the pharmacy for it. So I wonder what that does, though. Does it trigger something in the healthcare industry to say, like, you fucked up, here's a fine, or...
And one thing that kind of bugged me, too, was this pharmacy, from what I know, made no effort in contacting every single person that day.
Right. Should they contact every single person?
Yes.
That day?
Saying, hey, we had a little mix up here. We don't know if you got the right medication. Can you please check?
Right.
They should have called every single person from that day that got a fill.
Or at the very least, the person who's now missing their Zoloft.
Exactly. They could.
Can you imagine what that person's going through?
Right. They might be taking an antiviral. This shit, I'm depressed. They're taking antiviral.
It's not working.
Well, these pills look different, but I don't know. That's a sticky situation there. That's kind of screwed up.
That's a big one, we'll say, to...
Yeah, I'm on like both sides. Like I feel like, yes, my friend kind of did a little boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't read the bottle, but she did place some trust in this pharmacy to fill it properly. And it was clearly labeled on the outer packaging that it was hers.
Yep.
So
the bottle itself.
Right, exactly. And it had, I believe they said it had the instructions on the outside of the packaging too. So she didn't have to look at the bottle.
Right.
And see, like, take 3 per day, you know, whatever. It was on the outside. So she didn't even have to look at the bottle. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. But let's switch gears.
Yay.
Let's move into some of our entertainment topics that we have.
Media. It's kind of weird. We've sat down and watched a lot of shit in the past couple of weeks.
It is weird because they just had the strike, so it's not like there's a whole lot of new content coming out, but
we watched
there was a whole lot of content.
Yes. Which one are you starting with?
Go with Creator. I hated it.
Oh, The Creator, that movie?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I hated it.
It was a sci-fi movie. It was kind of slow, though. It was a little bit too long for me. I feel like they were trying to do this huge grand scale stuff like Dune, but it was like, all right, come on, move it along.
I was so bored. I was looking at my phone.
It was okay. I liked the idea of it, but the execution was a little eh. The ending was kind of cool too.
Well, what they say a lot is that Hollywood movies, they tell us things, right? Of things to come, right? It's like they know already, and here's what's coming next.
Yeah.
So AI integration or robotic integration.
It was AI.
Yeah.
It was all about AI and the AI god, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And who's the creator of AI.
Right.
That's why it was called The Creator.
Mm-hmm. But they had regular people versus either what do you call that? Augmented?
Yeah, they were either like people. Well, they looked like people, but they weren't. They were called synths. I can't remember, but they looked like
essentially droids.
Yes, they would copy you and make a robot that looked like you.
Right.
But then there was actual robots that looked like robots, but they were all hyper intelligent. You know, they had emotions, kind of, I guess you could say. And
they copied emotions.
Right.
Yeah. Whether or not, they have the heart or soul to feel it.
But so it was like a war against certain humans versus them. Certain countries didn't want to get rid of AI because they used it for everything, like helping farm, but the US had AI terror attack, which blew up a stadium or something full of people.
Well, I'm not saying that is being what is to come, but more like the idea of having droids, right? Like the idea that more robots, more AI. You said it yourself, right? There's farmers. There are utilizing them for different things in the world.
Yeah.
Is that to come?
I believe so. The goal of these AI companies, I'm pretty sure, is AGI, which is, I think, artificial general intelligence, I think is what that stands for, which is essentially something that can stand on its own and answer questions without like human intervention.
Right.
It's smart enough to do things on its own.
That's scary.
That is terrifying.
That's scary.
Because you're essentially giving them free will, I guess, or
right.
I don't know.
Whoever would have thought that Terminator would be true? Like
James Cameron.
Right. I guess so. Gotta give him credit. But whoever would have thought that robots would be among us?
It's terrifying. It really is, because once you take that leash off and you know, that kill switch, and that's the other thing too, is with this AGI, why wouldn't they figure out how to code out a
Their
kill
own
switch?
Kill switch.
Yeah. Oh, that might kill me. Let me get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. It's crazy.
Blue Eye Samurai. We're nerds.
Yeah, Blue Eye Samurai is a new-ish Netflix anime series.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that shit. I loved it.
We are just polar opposites sometimes. I tell you what.
It was amazing.
It was good. I wouldn't say I loved it. It was good.
I did. For a modern anime, it was insanely good.
It was good. I don't know that I loved it. I feel like the way they left it kind of sucked.
Well, it's not over.
Well, I know, but it's just not a very good ending for the series currently. I mean, not series end, but season end.
Right. I mean, they're just trying to make you come back next year or whenever.
And I'm curious what will happen with the main character.
What? Like, what do you mean?
So I think the point of the whole...
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and say it. Spoilers. I think the point of the whole... What is it called? Anime. The whole story is that revenge isn't the answer, right? Revenge overcomes you. You become a shell of yourself. You are just seeking...
A demon.
Right. You are seeking to destroy. Whereas she, the main character, and I can't think of her name right now.
Mizu,
thank you.
Yeah, see, I like it.
Where Mizu is meeting people who are coming into her life and enriching it, giving her purpose outside of the revenge,
it's
right?
Like a growth for her.
Right.
She has this sole purpose to kill certain people, and she says it multiple times. I don't follow me because this path is paved with blood.
Right.
You know?
I am on a revenge quest.
That's it.
Period.
I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to live. I'm here. Everything I'm going to do is to kill people.
Right. So I can see that being the moral of the story, but then you have all these extra characters around her, right? That are enriching her life, trying to almost like move her off that path. So it seems there is potential for a throuple.
Oh, yeah. What was his... one of the main characters is a guy, and then the princess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a throuple.
I saw that. I was like, because the princess came. I don't know, how do you say that? She was in her carriage thing that people carry.
Oh, there's a word for it. Oh, I
have no idea.
Palif? Okay, whatever. Move on.
But yeah, and the main character Mizu saw her in there, and they kind of insinuated like she thought she was pretty or whatever, you know.
Time froze when she looked
exactly.
At her. Right.
So it was kind of like insinuating like, ooh,
hello.
Yeah. But the same thing throughout this whole series, she got married. She banged a dude. Like, she loved this guy. You could tell that she loved this guy. And then she keeps having these moments with another character that's following her through her little revenge story. So it's kind of confusing.
Another male character following her that got a boner on her leg.
And she was like, put that sword away, bro.
But nobody knows that she's female, right? Everybody assumes she's male.
That's the other thing is, so the main part of this story was she is half white and half Japanese. And
in the 1600s, Japan closed their borders.
Right.
And did not allow any Western influence into their country.
Because I think Catholicism was,
changing their culture.
Yeah, it was changing their culture and sweeping over everything. Well, she's half white and half Japanese. And according to this story, they treated her like a demon.
Right.
She was a monster in that culture. And
not only, but typically men were samurai.
Yeah.
And could travel freely.
Right.
Whereas women had to be accompanied by a man.
Right.
So for her...
Women were treated as property.
Right. So for her to be able to travel on her revenge quest, she acted as a man.
Yeah. And I would recommend it. I liked it a lot. I liked it more than One Piece.
But all that to say, I think she's going to be in a throuple.
I do too. I kind of do. I don't know though. I mean, we'll see. But I like this story. I like how they she started off as like a sword maker assistant and built her own sword, trained up, all because she had anger towards someone she doesn't even know. 4 people she doesn't even know.
Yep.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting if they do another season to see how and if she falls off the revenge path at any point.
I don't think so. I don't think she's gonna. I think she's going to do she's gonna kill these people, because at least the one that we've seen so far is pretty fucking evil.
Yeah.
He's not just some innocent guy that banged her mom and had her.
Right.
He's a fucking asshole, and he killed a lot of, they call them bastards. Yeah, it's messed up. That's one thing that I will say that might be a little bit much, is it's extremely gory.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yep, lots of blood.
It was a little bit too over stylized. Like, I don't really want to see guts.
No, not particularly.
Dude holding his guts in and shit like that.
Peaches.
Yeah, that was the best part. Peaches.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
But speaking of guts, let's go to Invincible.
Yeah, that's another...
Can you tell this is a content based purely on everything that Russ likes?
Yes. Yes.
We built this whole episode just to talk about all these nerd things.
It's hard for me to get into TV unless it's something that
Nerd.
I really, really, really like or am interested in.
Nerd.
So there's not much. But Invincible Season 2 came out. Well, the first half of Season 2 came out. And what did you think?
Again, we're very slow right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like last season there was just so much happening. And then this season, it's like they started off with all of the, again, spoilers on Invincible. They've started off with like all the depression of the dad being gone.
Yes.
And it's like all sad right now. It's so sad. I'm just, let's go. Like, move on.
Well, that was a big part of the comic, was mental health.
And I'm fine with that. But
it's
what
too much.
Point do we get to the next phase of life?
Yeah. I mean,
like he goes to college, right? We've seen him in college for a couple of hours.
Right.
Because he goes off. But it's like we're so focused on the dad leaving. And I think what the point is the lead up to him, again, spoilers, coming back, right? He is now back in Invincible's life.
Right. Yes. He's back in Invincible's life.
It was too much of a lead up.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was very slow, or it is very slow. And I hate with a passion these mid-season finale bullshit.
Right.
Just release the damn thing every week.
Yep.
stop pausing it, because now we have to wait. I don't even know when the next part's coming out, but
Well, it's almost like they create the content and the writers get block. They're like, just release what we got. We'll come back.
We'll take a break. I don't know. I liked it. I felt like season 1 was better though.
100%.
Because like you said, every episode there was something. Like you saw him develop from not having powers to being what he is.
Yep.
But now it's like there's a lot of focus on his mom, which she's majorly depressed, and because he left and called her a pet and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's just a little slow for me.
Yeah, agreed.
But hopefully
lots of guts again.
There is one huge change though from the comic to this show is the Alan the alien. Well, they insinuated that he's actually dead. And he lasted a long time in the...
Well, he's in like a coma or whatever.
Yeah, but he pulled the plug.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that guy pulled the plug. Thetis.
Yeah.
He pulled the plug on him, which if he's truly dead, that's a big change.
Yeah.
Next.
But Invincible, same as the first season, very gory as well.
Yes.
Lots of gore.
Guts hanging out, all that stuff.
Well, speaking of more gore, you have a theme here, honey. Well, how about Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare 3.
I'm just going to sit back for this one. Listening to you play it?
My thoughts, meh. So I like actually playing single player games because a lot of the time they have a really good story and it's kind of fun to actually play. I like to call them like interactive novels if they're well done. Call of Duty's was some shit this time.
Well, are they more focused on the multiplayer?
It's clear that that's the case.
Gotcha.
And that pisses me off because they used to do really good in story stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I think I beat it in like an hour, or like, I think they said it's 3 or 4 hours. I beat it the first night. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I was pissed because I had it during early access. You got early access to the single player campaign. So I beat it and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do for the next 2 weeks or whatever it was before it came back out? Well, now I'm playing multiplayer, which is fun, but the best part, and I think it makes it worth the purchase, is the zombies mode.
Do you want to say your tag or no?
No.
Okay.
The
zombies mode?
Yeah, zombies mode is awesome. It is huge open world mode with all these dead people walking around, and you have the goal to get more loot and guns and get to the center of the map and fight bosses, and there's a story to it. It's actually really fun, surprisingly. What else?
Listening to you, though, and playing that, I feel like the most enjoyment that you get out of these is your little one-liner comments that you do.
I make people laugh.
Uh-huh.
And even our daughter, she'll sit in here. She's not watching me play, but she'll sit in here and she'll hear me make these comments, and then she'll hear everybody laughing, and then she'll start laughing. It is fun, though, making people laugh.
Uh-huh. I think that's the most enjoyment that you get out of it.
It is, because when there's a thing on there, I think it's like death mic or something, whatever. Essentially, when you get killed by another player, it turns your mic on for a split second so they can hear your reaction and you can hear theirs.
Right.
So when people kill me, I'm like, ah!
You are so loud.
I don't. But it's funny as shit because like you could tell it was young teenagers. They were like maybe 12 or 13.
Good Lord, playing that game?
And they were playing that. It's violent, but whatever. And they lost it. The whole rest of the match, all they were doing was laughing, and I couldn't stop laughing. It was funny as shit. Hello?
Well, lovely.
What, you don't have anything to say about Call of Duty?
No,
Why?
never played it a day in my life, but I'm glad you liked it.
I do.
Okay.
They let you watch Virgin River.
Which the extra episodes are such crap. It's just annoying. Anywho, let's wrap up this podcast today with our 2023 Spotify wrap up. So, top genres, go.
Alternative metal, pop punk, pop, hip hop, and gymcore. Whatever the fuck gymcore is.
I want to know what gymcore is.
I don't know. And that's scary. Let's be clear, I do not go to the gym, so I have no reason to listen to gymcore.
Okay. We'll have to investigate that one. But it's funny that pop is on there.
You know why.
Why?
Our kid on Amazon Alexa.
You had to whisper that.
Yeah, I don't want it to go off.
But she could constantly play songs on there.
It has polluted my raps. Let's be clear.
I can't wait to hear this. Okay. So what was your top song this year?
My top song, this was actually not polluted, and I think it's because she actually likes this song too, so she plays it. Your top song was Broken by Flaw.
Okay. My top song was Vibe by Krishan Rock.
I have no idea what that is.
I have no idea what yours is.
Yeah, you do. You would if you heard it.
Oh, okay.
I like that you're broken like me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know that. It's a cover, I think, but yeah.
Well, you would know this if I played it because I played it a lot.
Oh, okay.
But she's one of the baddies from...
Oh, God.
Yeah.
My brain gets smaller every
love that
time.
Show. I can't help it.
Even when I'm in here in the office playing Call of Duty and I hear that shit, I'm like,
Shut up. Well, when I hear you going for Call of Duty, yeah, that.
I don't do little.
Okay. What were your other top songs?
My top song, so my top 5 was number 1, Broken by Flaw. Number 2, Richmond, North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony Music. Number 3, One for the Money by Escape the Fate. Number 4, The Last Shanty by Nathan Evans, because I am a future pirate. And number 5 was RX Medicate or Prescription Medicate by Theory of a Dead Man.
Well, I'm surprised then. So all of that is you.
Just wait.
Okay. But your top 5 at least is you, although our daughter does like the first song you said, and I think the third one you said.
She likes the shanty one. And One for the Money.
Yes.
She plays that all the time. That's
song.
the one where one of the neighborhood kids left because they didn't like to hear the F word.
So bad. But context, right? It's just
exactly.
It's a word. Okay, anyways. We actually talked about that on the previous one.
What's your 5?
Okay. My 5, I already said Vibe by Krishan Rock. Then Rock the Boat by Aaliyah. I was going old school on that one.
Oh my God.
Then another Krishan Rock, Rainy Days. And then number 4 is Richmond, North of Richmond by Oliver Anthony Music. And 5 is Believer, Imagine Dragons.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So,
I don't know most of them, but
I had a weird year, it feels like.
You said one of your songs was F the Government, and I don't know the rest of them.
Well, you know Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
And you know the Aaliyah song that's from back in the early 2000s.
I would have to hear it. I don't know them by...
The bone,
okay,
the bone,
sure.
Okay.
Please stop.
Moving on. And then Krishan Rock is the baddie. Anyways. Okay. How many minutes did you listen for?
10,037.
I beat you this year.
You did?
14,259. I beat you.
That's weird.
That's really weird. Normally you beat me.
Well, you drive.
True.
So
my commutes,
yes,
I was listening.
Yeah, so I don't do that. Sure. I don't know how to drive.
You've forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Top artist.
Number 1, Taylor Swift. I don't understand how your top artist can be
not your top number 1 song.
Right.
Yeah.
Or in the top 5 of your songs. So yeah, Taylor Swift is number 1. Nathan Evans, number 2, which is the Last Shanty guy. Theory of a Dead Man, which makes sense. Flaw, and Oliver Anthony Music.
So yeah, we're twinsies. Taylor Swift is my number 1 too.
It's not my fault. I am a girl dad.
So Taylor Swift is probably my fault as well as our daughters for my number 1. But yeah, definitely not your fault for your number 1.
No. Would I listen to Tay Tay by myself? Hell no.
I would.
You like it. It was funny though, before our kiddo got into it, you weren't much of a Tay Tay fan, but now you are.
Well, I know a lot of her songs because they were always on popular radio, right? I would hear them all the time or in stores or whatever. But yeah, because our daughter now really likes Tay Tay.
Tay-Tay.
We're listening a lot more. But
Right.
my number 2 is New Medicine.
Oh, I don't know why that's not on my top.
I don't know either.
What the hell? That's like my favoriteest band of all time.
Then number 3 is Christian Rock, because obviously my 2 songs that I've been playing on repeat. Number 4 is Imagine Dragons, and number 5 is Halsey. I actually really like this list. I feel like this is very representative of me.
I don't think it is on me.
Well, obviously not. You have Taylor Swift on yours.
No, but like the Nathan Evans one, that's that pirate song. That wasn't my top.
Well, you played it a lot.
I did, but I didn't play it more than New Medicine.
Yeah.
No way. New Medicine is my shit.
Well, I like mine.
I don't. Spotify, I don't like you right now.
Yeah.
I'm mad at you, but I'll still pay for premium.
Absolutely. And I don't know why, but it's like such a life necessity these days to be able to have podcasts and or music.
Well, you remember when like iTunes first came out?
No, go take it even further back. Napster, man.
No. Yeah, but you're talking about downloading music.
I'm not saying I did it, but Napster was a big deal.
Yeah, I know, but when you would buy it and you had to go to iTunes and buy each song, that was terrible.
$2.99 a song.
Yeah, or you can get a discount, buy the whole album for $13. Oh my god,
that was painful.
I hated that. I used to get I think it was Coke or Pepsi. They would give you the free iTunes voucher download code.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that shit a lot.
They used to give like the little CDs and the drinks at the movie theater. Do you remember those little CDs? They were tiny little, like I'm not even like 3 inches, but they would have one song on it and you could listen to it. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
But
now, see, that brings up something.
Oh,
We own nothing.
true.
We own nothing.
Yep. Because if we stopped our subscription to Spotify,
Then we can't listen to what we want.
right, we don't own that music.
I don't like it. At least back when CDs and stuff were a thing, when it was physical media, you owned it.
Yeah.
They can't take it from you once you have it.
Right.
You could put that thing in a CD player anywhere and it would work. But now, if you stop your subscription or Spotify ceases to exist, not that it would, it's so big, but they could ban you. They could say, we don't like you.
Or Apple Music for that matter.
Yeah, anything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't own shit.
Nope. Don't even own our house. We have a mortgage on it.
Well, that's a little harder to take than flipping a switch of digital music.
We own like one little piece. We own like a square foot right now.
We almost didn't own these solar panels too.
I think that's it for today.
Love you.
Thanks for listening to the Unholy Union podcast.
For more Unholy Union content, check out our social media at Unholy Union Cast on Instagram and Twitter. We also have Facebook and TikTok.
Want to support the podcast? Rock some merch. Check out our merchandise store on our site at unholyunionpodcast.com.
Again, thank you for listening, and we hope to have you back next week.
It's what you do with things you love.